Hello and welcome to Ingression, the only series that gives the best tips, tricks, and information on the game that we all love, Ingress. I, of course, am your lovable Enlightened instructor, Incredible Hulk, aka Colin Williams. And this is Anomalies 202, where we'll cover how to defend and keep your portals during the crazy and constantly changing landscape that is known as Anomalies. If you haven't watched Anomalies 101 and 201, go do that now, then come back to this video. Otherwise, let's get rolling on Anomalies 202. And to start off, we'll address the best strategy to hold the portal if your faction already has it and it's fully deployed with level 8 resonators. We're going to go ahead and nickname this plan Hotel 1, H being for hold the portal, and 1 is a second easy unique identifier. And you guys will want to have your own code words that you can use with your team. This way you can quickly alert your players to know what specific job they should switch to when necessary. But do make sure that they're customized to your team, so that way it ensures that the enemy can't shout something and throw your team off and get them doing the wrong thing. I personally consider this dirty playing, but it has been known to happen. So when it comes to defending, the number one most important part will be the shields. Without the shields, your resos will be deader than a red shirt before you guys can put down more. So I'd recommend having at least 2 or preferably 3 or 4 modders, including your levelers, depending on your team size. You can also have one of your deployers act as a modder if necessary. And I would say have your modders literally stand on top of the portal if possible. I literally had one time at an anomaly, the portal was a plaque, and I just told my friend, here, sit, and I just had her sit on top of the plaque, because the deploy range doesn't matter, and it'll actually help with a future attacking piece that we're going to cover in 203. So while you own the portals, the modder's one and only job is continually making sure there's shields on that portal. So they'll want to click on the portal, click on mods, and add a shield in any open slot. They might get an error that says mod slot already filled. If they all say filled, then just head back out to the main scanner and then back in, just in and out, in and out, just in and out, just in and out, just keep checking those mods, just in and out, just in and out, just faster and faster, and just in and out, and in and out. Oh God, oh, there's an empty mod slot. Stick something in that hole. And that's the modder's job on the defensive side. The only other thing that they should be doing is using power cubes as necessary, because those shields are number one, the thing that will keep the portal, so they need to stay on top of them. And next up, the destroyer's role. So if you've already got control of the portal, there's not as much you need to do on the destroying side. So that's where your position will actually change a bit. While your team controls the portal, you want to continually recharge it. If your shielders are doing their job, there shouldn't be much recharging needed. And this will keep the portal healthy and will decrease the chance of it getting taken. Destroyers will want to stand at specific positions as well as close to 8 meters from the portal as possible to maximize effectiveness in case they need to switch to attacking. So if you think of the portal, you get north identified on your compass, and there's also the red dot over the north resonator slot in the deploy screen. So we're going to use compass directions for discussing the positioning of those destroyers. So if you somehow only have 2 destroyers, you'll want them at the north and south positions. If you have 3 destroyers, you'll want them at northeast, south, and northwest positions. For 4 destroyers, you'll just cover north, south, east, and west. Easy enough. For 5 destroyers or more, you'll keep the north, south, east, and west plan, since it's the most efficient way to attack with level 8 bursters with multiple people, and just have them double up on locations as necessary on there. So with those destroyers, just like the modders, you'll just keep recharging. And if it says the portal's full, you'll just head out of the portal and back in to refresh that info. You'll possibly encounter an uncontrolled XM error. An anomaly is pretty much the only time you'll encounter those. And basically it just means that the server got overloaded for a second. Just head back out and head back in to recharge. But here is the one time that you'll want to stop recharging. And that is if the portal starts massively dropping to the extent that it is losing resonators fast. Then you'll execute plan Romeo 2, which we'll discuss in a second. There is, however, also potentially a brand new job for the destroyers as well that I really wanted to cover. This has not happened at the previous Anomalies, to my knowledge, but with the update of scanner version 1.76.0, it's expected this might become an anomaly problem, unfortunately. And that is key douching, or enemies dropping keys right on top of the portal, so that when you click on the portal, it takes longer to reach the recharge or deploy screen, but it won't slow down them firing XMPs at all. And I really hope this doesn't happen, and I really hope Niantic also changes the scanner back to the old way before 1.76 and that multi-click thing, but odds are that some barely above cheating scum will try this technique. So we're going to cover how to make it so that it doesn't actually affect you. So hopefully they won't even bother trying it because it won't be worthwhile. So destroyers, if you click on a portal and there's a key douching it up, your job is to just pick it up and then go back to recharging. Only try picking it up once, because odds are if it still shows, it's just scanner lag and there's a bunch of people already trying to pick it up anyways as well. So moving on now for the deployer's job. The deployers, like the modder, will be heading in and out of the deploy screen to make sure that every single resonator slot stays filled. They'll want to stand in a safe distance of 17 meters from the portal. So this will make sure that their resos are deployed far away from the portal, but even if there's some like a little bit of drift that happens of a few meters, they'll still be able to deploy. They won't end up out of that range. And deployers, luckily, if you use the quick press deploy that we covered in Pro Tips 4, key douching literally will not affect you. It doesn't pop up with that little menu that's annoying. It just gives you the little thumb and then press over. So you can completely avoid that. I would just say stay zoomed in close on the portal so you hit deploy instead of accidentally hitting new portal if you were clicking on blank space. And honestly, if the shielders are recharging and doing their job, then the portal ideally shouldn't be losing any resonators. So if you have any spare deployers, they can also help out with shields and recharging as well. But you'll want to make sure there's at least 2 people still focused on deploying at any given time. However, just like with the destroyers, if you start losing the portal, then you'll want to quickly switch strategies to Romeo 2 or recover the portal. So in the Romeo 2 plan, you'll want your modders to continue focusing on shields, but all your deployers will focus on reso deployment and get that portal to at least a stable 7. Once it's a stable enough 7, then some of the deployers can switch to recharging again to keep the portal strong with the original Hotel 1 strategy. For the destroyers, as soon as you switch to Romeo 2, almost all of them will want to start blasting bursters, even if the portal still shows it's controlled by your faction. 1 or 2 can keep recharging if it feels right and if you have a lot of destroyers. But you'll want to have those agents pre-picked ahead of time, so that way you don't end up wasting time going, okay, you and you recharge, and losing that precious second. So the reason that you'll want to do this entire attacking thing is because even though it might show owned by your faction, in a fraction of a second, the enemy faction could take it, and your burster could actually kill that reso that just took it. So when your deployers manage to get back into the deploy screen, they'll actually be able to instantly reclaim the portal if you've killed that enemy resonator. And then once the deployers and shielders have the portal semi-stable, then the destroyers will want to head back in, deploy their level 8 resonators on it real quick, and then switch back to charging with the Hotel 1 strategy again. Let's say you lose the portal, however. Then you'll want to switch to the Alpha 3 strategy or the attack strategy, which we'll cover in Anomalies 203. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out Anomalies 203 to know how to take back a portal or take over a portal during the Ingress Thunderdome that is known as Anomalies.